This is Black Bolt, king of the Inhumans, and he's about to lose absolutely everything. I mean everything. His wife, his people, his brother, and even his dog. Guy, you just know that this revenge is going to be served like very, very cold eba. Then again, things were not always like this, and the origin of this conflict that will lead to this very, very sweet, bitter revenge all began a very, very long time ago. You see, there was this empire, and they called themselves the Kree. They were space conquerors, and they went about the universe conquering planets here and there. When these guys came to Earth, they captured the early men of that time, and they performed very horrible experiments on them. I mean, this shit happened for many generations, so you just know that these guys were being turned into abominable, shitty creatures like this. You see, the Kree Empire, they believed themselves to be the most superior in all the world, and they wanted to enslave everything that breathes air. So their aim for human beings was to turn them into soldiers, spies, assassins, essentially into slaves. But these were not just normal slaves, these were like super powered, I can fly kind of slaves, you understand what I'm saying? But then the Kree god, a very supreme being who could see the future, was like, yo, every Kree, stop with all the experiments on human beings. I have seen a future where these guys come for our heads and we are screwed. And because the Kree, they fear this their supreme god, everybody was like, okay, you know what, we're backing off. Leave the human beings and we're backing off, and everybody left. Fast forward hundreds of thousands of years later, the Kree had this like civil war, and there were many of them that got destroyed. Even that their supreme being died. So naturally a new order rose, and these guys, they know the year word. They were like, okay, where are those human beings that were supposed to serve us? Let us go and enslave them again. But you see, the most unique thing about the Kree was that they were not like the British Empire, where when those come and conquer you, they first come and give you gifts. No, these guys came for blood. Then again, many years had passed, and these human beings of that time, they had formed tribes, and these tribes had grown into kingdoms. One in particular on the moon was the strongest of them all. But the Kree were not interested, so they sent out a warning to the Inhuman kingdoms. It was simple: either you submit to us or you die. And you see, they did this threat by inscribing it on the bodies of every Inhuman they killed. And you see, this is where the shit gets interesting, because you see, this guy, Black Bolt, only wanted peace, and he was looking for a way to solve the problem in a very diplomatic manner. So what he did was this: he called for a meeting of all the monarchs, you know, all the 5 kingdom monarchs. They were like, let's sit, let's talk. But as of the time he arrived to the scene, he discovered something. All of them had been butchered mercilessly. I mean, these guys were spread on the walls like Christmas turkey, and on their chests, all of them had the same warning. Just then, one of Black Bolt's boys was like, yo, guys, there's still one person alive. And so immediately he rushed to help the person, naturally. But this person was too close to death and decided to just use their powers to show what had happened before Black Bolt arrived. You see, it turned out that these other 4 very ugly looking queens had already decided that even without Black Bolt, they were going to surrender to the Kree Empire. But you see, the Krees were just crazy. They sent out this one guy that looked like he drank blood for a living, not to accept the surrender, rather to send a message to the one person they considered to be a threat. Yep, you guessed it, my boy Black Bolt. Meaning that even the massacre of these queens was done all to get on Black Bolt's nerves. I mean, what did this guy do to them? But that was just the beginning of their problems, as the place suddenly blew up. Luckily, the giant dog teleported Black Bolt and his core family out of the blast, but shit had already gone down. You see, a lot of people had come out wounded. Black Bolt himself was one of them. His sister-in-law was wounded, and his wife Medusa had been stabbed in the tummy and was in critical condition. Immediately, Black Bolt issued the order for everybody to return to the city on the moon. However, Black Bolt did not know that it was already too late. Do you remember that Batman blood drinking asshole I told you about? Yeah, his name is Vox, and he had come visiting. A whole massacre to the city.